path, aiming for the Scald, but just cannot get there. The nice thing is with the debuff, I mean, a Night Slash is not going to KO. Unfortunately, does get one turn bring in there, but Night Slash is survivable. Opponent realizes this and goes for the Shadow Ball. But now they need a Moonblast to KO. And I'm going to bring in the Avalugg. I bring in the Avalugg, but I get the one turn bring in, and that means that I actually don't get the Ice Fang through to knock them out. They survive on 1 HP due to the one turn bring in. In the back is Rhyperior though, and this game, forcing the CMP tie is perfect because I just want to set up the Pangoro so that way I'm going to be able to get a bunch of energy. In comes the Pangoro. Unfortunately, I do get the one turn bring in lag. It doesn't actually impact my ability to farm down as they did survive that Karate Chop, but it's still just frustrating to see. I snipe with a Psywave, and that's a perfect overfarm by my opponent, firing off the Fire Punch right before I get the next superpower. And now we're going to have the Battle of Diggersby. Theirs, of course, being the regular and mine being the shadow. It looked like I did get the one turn bring in there, which is unfortunate. Scorching Sands is going to connect. So maybe I should have switched when I got to the Brine. They will go for the Scald. I now bring in the Shadow Diggersby. I'm looking to catch. I do get the one turn bring in, which means I'm unable to catch, which is very unfortunate. Scald is going to connect. In comes the Malamar. Malamar, my move does not show up, but by the amount of residual energy they have, they should not have back-to-back here, so I will still win the game, but man, please fix the one-turn lag. Like, I'm very lucky that it didn't cost me the game that time, but it definitely could have if my opponent had back-to-back. Our next opponent, because as you're going to see, I get really close to the next Sparkling Aria, but I don't quite get there, and I could have made two. In comes Wigglytuff, and unfortunately, my fast move gets denied. Luckily, they went for a blind foul play. If the opponent kept switch advantage, they were in a pretty nice spot, but losing switch means that their Talonflame is going to get stuck on a Wailord later in the game. In comes Swalot. Swalot gets its Mud Shot denied. You absolutely hate to see it. The Crunch does get my opponent now going to try and go for a Water Shuriken farm down, and they get that farm down. I send in Jellicent, and my fast move is denied. I was hoping to Hex down, but that's going to make it a lot more difficult. They Night Slash, and that boost is also going to make it a lot more difficult as well. If not for the boost and the one-turn bring-in, I could have just Hexed down, but now I actually have to throw my energy. That is quite unfortunate, but and now I need to undercharge as well. I want to leave it at 1 HP, but I accidentally do too much. It KOs it. Can Camerupt survive the mud shots here? My opponent is going to end up firing off the Hydro Cannon. I believe they may have gotten the one-turn bring in there, and that's why throwing 5 in the move ended up being on alignment, which is a little bit unfortunate. We get a catch, and this is a win, or at least it should be, because I can survive the 3 Vine Whips, but I get one turn bring in that allows them to do a Sucker Punch and switch, and that, combined with the huge throw that I had in that initial matchup, will cause me to lose the game. Bellybolt is going to go for the Parabolic Charge. Superior survives, but I can't make a move. And now I bring my Bellybolt into theirs. Unfortunately, I do get the one-turn bring-in lag there. Tough call to make. I call a bait, and I get hit with a Zap Cannon, and that's going to make this endgame a lot closer. Had I shielded, and even with the Rock Tomb lowering Scizor's attack only to +1, these bullet punches are still doing too much damage. The good news is Drifblim should be able to get a farm down here. In comes the Drifblim. Drifblim gets one-turn bring-in, and they live on 1 HP. Drifblim should have got a sneak there and KO'd the Scizor, but wasn't able to. There's a game-winning catch, potentially, onto that Drapion. Very nicely done. And now Drifblim farms down, leaves with the move. It all comes down to this. If Scizor is 1 HP, it's a win because the shielded move does 1 HP of damage through the shield. Down goes Scizor. That game should have been a win anyway if there wasn't one-turn lag, so I'm happy that with the shield kill, the correct person still emerges victorious. I can never shield, however, because if I shield, then I'm just going to lose with the Gastrodon. I bring in the Gastrodon, and I get one-turn bring-in. I haven't had one-turn bring-in in a while, but I have it at the worst time. I get hit with a Hydro Pump, things going from bad to worse. My opponent switches in Scizor.